independence, we was caught into this whole integration, so-called civil rights movement, and laws and legislation. So that's see, when you cut me off, you don't know what I'm about to say. So that's why I said we've never ever. All we got is math talk. So if you're here in the U.S., living in the U.S., and you don't know, like, then you need to like either study or figure out. You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason I brought up reparations is the U.S. government will use here's the U.S. government will use a black immigrant as a mouthpiece because they're more likely to be deceived. So when it comes to reparations, the black spokeswoman, Karine Jean-Pierre, when she was asked about reparations, she didn't want to talk about it. She started talking about some policies Biden passed that's going to support the American people and minorities and all this other stuff. So, and I'm not saying that people who identify as the FBA they get duped too, but it's if you have a choice, because thing is, as an immigrant, when you come here to America, you're most likely you have a thought of achieving the American dream, and
can I ask you?
most likely, hold on.
I mean, it's relating to what you're saying. I have a question.
No, actually, you can mute your mic until you're addressed. Let him finish his statement. Thanks so much.
And most likely, you have the American dream in mind, and like I say, I'm not against immigration, but I don't like what's being done. You know what I'm saying? So if you come here to America, you come here with hopes and dreams, but the people that know what's going on, and you know, that's the so-called the woke, you know, that they're not the other stuff woke, but that's that hijacked woke, but that's woke. They know that we've only experienced the American nightmare. So some people say stuff, and I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, the black immigrants are being used against us. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to reparations, when it comes to, and even like I ain't gonna say as extreme as OSA. If y'all have seen OSA, you know, I'm not even gonna say extreme as OSA, but sometimes even the ones that think they helping, they'll say, they'll mention the civil rights movement, right? And they'll think that black people was fighting for civil rights, but they don't have. I asked them, I say, so who can you name who would support that? And they can't name anybody. So, you know, even them, they don't, they think they help.
To me, agree.
Yeah, is there a point where
Please, to me, agree.
Please land the plane, my God.
Yeah, hold it right.
Appreciate to say that all black immigrants that come over here, they're coming here and they're anti-black. First of all, this is the problem I have with a lot of individuals such as yourself, Creed. You think that immigration is equal and even all across the board.
I never said that.
Creed, I did not cut you off.
About anti-black though. I didn't
cut you off. Let me finish what I have to say. Let me finish what I got to say. I did not cut you off.
But you add the words that I didn't say. Go ahead.
Used your words. You said black immigrants. So the thing of it is, oh my goodness.
No,
it's not getting anywhere. I can't get if you're just gonna keep doing this.
Real quick, sorry, Clink, I'm gonna let you go in 2 seconds. Real quick, just for everybody that just came into the live, I am dropping people with impulse control issues off the panel. I will not block you, but I will drop you if you are having impulse control issues. Go ahead, Think.
Back to what I was saying, I said it's not equal across the board. They do allow for the other immigrants that are YT identifying. They allow them a hell of a lot more to come in than they actually do the Black immigrants. And then that number gets greatly reduced when they come from particular countries and they happen to be a Black immigrant. Okay. Now, and you can look this up for yourself, right? On the numbers that they allow. They have plenty of them, thousands upon thousands that are coming in that happen to be Black, right? Not all of them get to stay. A lot of them, too many of them, they end up being processed and deported back. And the sad part about it is we do have plenty of them that are 600 miles off the coast of Florida. And I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of them are processed and sent back. Haitians are, out of all Black immigrants, they are the least likely to get or gain asylum here in the United States. This is why I'm saying, you have to be more specific when you're talking about, first of all, immigration, then break it down more to Black immigration. Because again, it's not the same, nor is it ever equal across the board, right? And not only that, let's talk about that. Wasn't it a Haitian man that sat there and founded Chicago? His bust is still very much there. You talk on these different issues about independence. Well, the last time I checked, a lot of countries in the Caribbean, minus Haiti, they did not gain their independence like you may think. And that's the same thing on the continent of Africa. Yeah, they were fighting for their independence, but guess what? That came with some strings attached. So it's like they got their independence, but it's not there. You're telling people to sit up there and learn about the history here in America, but you're speaking on their history, but you're not willing to be well versed yourself. I think that's a contradiction. So with that being said, you don't want people to speak on your history. Don't speak on theirs, especially when it comes to two things: immigration, which you obviously have never gone through yourself. The second thing is about independence as well, because you obviously don't know about that neither. And I'm going to land my plane there.
Yeah,
Sir, Key. Sorry, the lady that just came in.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie. I'm gonna ask you because I cannot take FBA talking no more. Is that your flex?
Me?
Yeah.
What flex?
Are you coming up to talk about immigrants leave America?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I was coming up to kind of like what Think was saying. That was basically the point of what I was saying, is that the visas that are given to people of color, especially Africans, are visas based on education usually. So when you see people, they use like people like Osa, for example, even though he's an awful person, like his family most likely came because his parents were either wealthy or they had a high education. Just like people who come from Asian countries as well. People who come from India or other Asian countries, they're given specific visas so that they can reinforce the model minority myth, right? Well, these people are immigrants, so why can't you pull yourself out by the bootstraps? And that's how white supremacy works, right? So they need to have a scapegoat in order to invalidate whatever Black people say. So if they bring a Nigerian person who is a quote unquote immigrant, but they don't include the fact that they had to have a certain amount of schooling and a certain amount of money to even get the visa, they always like take that. They don't talk about that part, but they're like, oh, look, they're immigrants and they can get up, like they can like pull themselves up, but why can't you? Even though it's not the same playing field, right? So when you fall into that creed, you are just letting white supremacy win again. So if you have that mindset, you're kind of going backwards as opposed to forwards. Because the only way Black people can go forwards is Pan-Africanism. It's not infighting. It's if we all throughout the diaspora, doesn't matter if you're from the Caribbean or Africa or you are African American, it doesn't matter. As soon as we can all get on the same level with our minds, then we can progress with Black empowerment. But there's too much infighting. And the infighting is made by white supremacy. They make us fight each other. They pit immigrants against African Americans and Africans against us. Like, even though we are all on the same side, Like they might say, "Oh yeah, look at this person from Africa, like they're doing better." Low key, they hate them. They hate them too. They just pretend to hate them less because they're educated. But it's not. They're not. It doesn't matter. Education can be learned. It can be given. It's not like it's unreachable. So when we talk about things like this, there's like some nuance behind it. Because if you harbor any like, vitriol or like some weird shit where you want to exclude Africa, you kind of are letting them win already. Because let's not forget, no matter what, we are all African. I mean, everyone's African, but Africa is the richest continent on Earth. So we as Black people are the richest group of people on Earth if we can get our shit together. And that's basically what I wanted to say. So, Creed, I understand what you're saying. You were just saying it in the way white people say it. So you need to shift your mindset, bruv. Because, like, I get what you're saying, but the way you're saying it is more so redactive and, like, reductionary than it is progressive. Yes, the model myth minority. That's what it's called. It's the model myth minority. It's the model minority myth. Yeah. I mean, no, what you're saying was kind of just, I mean, it was close. You're close, but it's like you're missing the point completely. You're talking like Osa and like the Black conservatives who are just off, like they are not smart people. They're pseudo intellectuals that come on and just spout white supremacy talking points in order to invalidate Black people in their struggle. So if those are the people you want to align with, that's up to you, love. But like, it's embarrassing. No offense. Probably because yeah, yeah, of course, I know. Yeah, like you. I mean, based on what I was hearing, you were just pointing out like white supremacy talking points and not like figuring out or providing a solution. You were just talking. You want me to word for word repeat what you said 10 minutes ago? I know. Everyone heard you, bro. Like, I don't know why you're playing dumb. It's fine though. I just think you need to read more. No, because I don't think my brain works the same way as yours does. I just think you should read more about, topics like this because there is nuance to it and you just lack the depth. I did summarize it earlier. Were you listening? We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. I apologize. Yeah, thank you. Okay, bet. Thank you. And then the last one, when it said, is there Caribbean history or history in the Caribbean? I think it's both. There's Caribbean history, and then there's also there's also like other people's history that happened in the Caribbean as well. So it's like both, I guess. And obviously white privilege exists because we know even colorism exists. So there's a lot. Proximity to whiteness is always power in our society, unfortunately. But I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to be racist to white people. It's not working. Exactly. I'm just bullying them. That's what, I just bully them, and they're like, "Oh, well, somebody." Yeah, like they're like, "Oh, well, black person didn't hold the door open for me one time, like, and I don't experience racism." Yeah, but it's interesting. People are deluded. But yeah, that's all I need to say.
You didn't hear him. said not
Yeah,
everybody.
genetically, they're not.
Well,
They're not.
when I said everyone is African, I meant like you said, descendants of Africa. If we believe, well, that's more so if you believe that like the first like bones were found in Ethiopia. Like if we think that evolutionary wise, everyone is African.
No. Those are African
No.
people. The bones was in Ethiopia are African people. Everybody else, not African. You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
As in, you're not an African human. Like, if you're not from Africa, you're not African descent, as in your lineage, your direct bloodline.
Every African American is a descendant from either the Caribbean or Africa.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about them.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
When you said everybody's a descendant of African, everybody's an African, that's what I said.
Evolutionary wise, the first like Homo sapiens were found in Africa, and then everyone evolved outside of them.
Once you get your blood mixed with something else, like a Neanderthal and everything else, you ain't African.
Well, I don't necessarily believe in like the 1/5. That's again white supremacy shit right there. It is, because let's not forget that whiteness is a recessive gene, and it also is a mutation of genetics.
You ever heard of Dr. Lalila Africa?
So I'm just saying, like, they're still technically African, even though they're white.
Go ahead, family, go ahead.
That's all I meant. I'm like, sure, they can be pale and white, but they're still technically from the first group of people who became.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're only 6,000-year-old species.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far. Some of these motherfuckers came out of caves, baby. Some of these motherfuckers came out of caves.
You gotta understand, man.
Actual Neanderthals.
Outer sources to bring down the consciousness.
Yeah.
And they've done the job. They've done the job.
Yeah, I got you. Well, normal people. How about that?
The only real humans came out of Africa.
You mean 70% human they got from us?
Yes.
And the other Neanderthal and the hybrid, and they got different stomach acids to us and different hair, and the list goes on. They know it.
Well, I mean, the point is, we should have never gave them the recipe to stand upright. We should have left them on their fours. You feel me?
We gave them too much source knowledge, man. You see the knowledge we was moving with, man. Imagine giving that to a young species, man. Come on, man. Just look what happened.
That was our bad. We definitely fucked up the bag right there.
Been asking my ancestors, what was it all for? You get me? But we're still living it, man. We're still living it. They're here, man.
Shit,
they're with us. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know the powers, man. They can't stop it, man.
We just say I ain't want to interrupt too much. Our young people, our young people really got it together. Honestly, I have so much faith in y'all. Thank you.
Don't worry, we got this shit.
We've had to look at. We've had a lot. When you unlock your genetic code as well, a lot comes with it.
My favorite.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess up y'all life. I just had to say that. That's all.
No, you're totally. I mean, I don't mind. Like, listen, I'm always up to talk about things, and if I'm wrong, I'll say it. I can admit that I'm wrong, unlike a lot of people. But I agree, you guys were right on the Neanderthal shit.
How do you say your name?
Sorske.
Sorske. Yeah, make sure you come back.
Okay.
Our squad approved.
You got the official stamp.
I wasn't trying to be. I was actually being very chill. I'm actually very chill today. I'm usually much meaner.
Too.
I'm much meaner than I was today, actually. So Creed caught me on a good day.
Creed been one of my mutuals. Creed know what room he's in. He knows. I just you know what kills me is that when I first came on this app, I never heard this rhetoric, especially coming from Americans. I never heard it. It's only recently that I've heard a lot of this rhetoric. And let me just say, because I had to drop because, TikTok is not my life. So I got a phone call. I had to take that. And I realized that I left at a very inopportune moment because I believe his name was Lenny, was about to go off on my ass, or at least try to anyway. But let me just say this. With respect to immigrants, quote unquote immigrants, I'm just gonna call them black people because I ain't talking about anybody else. I don't give a fuck about them Ukrainians, them motherfucking Syrians. I don't give a fuck about none of them niggas. I give a fuck about us. So I'm gonna talk about black people, black immigrants. When I hear black Americans talking down on black immigration, it does not compute to me because we are all oppressed in our respective nations wherever we're coming from. Like it does not do.
Sorry to cut you. Sorry, mute up for me, please, babe.
Oh,
that
sorry.
feedback is woo.
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, we want to stay on mute because of sensitivities, right? We don't want to mess with anybody's neurodivergencies. So when we're not talking, if we can mute our mics. But what I was saying was Black immigrants should not receive any kind of xenophobia from Black blanks. So if a Black American is moving to Jamaica, Black Jamaicans should not be chastising xenophobic to Black Americans. If Black Haitians are coming to Black America, they should not be xenophobic to Black Haitians. It's the same if Black Americans or Black Canadians are going to Sudan or going to the Congo. There should be no problem with us going over there and vice versa, them coming here. No problem, because we are all oppressed in our respective nations. That's number one. Number two, fuck these motherfuckers and their reparations. Because guess what? I ain't asking massa for shit. If y'all, listen to me, if Black America decides that they are going to go to the Supreme Court of America and get their motherfucking reparations, guess what? Black immigrants from all over the world are going to unite and stand behind them because they deserve it. But guess what? America has not only done shit to Black Americans, America has done shit to Black Jamaicans, Black Haitians, Black Puerto Ricans, Black Dominicans, Black Guatemalans, Black Venezuelans. America has gone around and fucked with Black people all up and down this motherfucker. So every single Black person in America, North, South, and Central, deserves reparations from America. Every single one of us. Just like every Black person around the world deserves reparations from the Vatican and the fucking Pope and the Catholic Church and the fucking British monarchy. Same with the French monarchy. Same with the Germanic government. They all owe us money. Every last one of them bitches owe us money. None of them are going to give us reparations, because by them conceding to reparations for one Black nation like America, they have to concede to reparations all over the world. All over the world.
And that is why they're not going to give it, because they're going to have to pay everybody. Everybody. And the thing is that we will never say, can you please move big drop? Can you please move big drop? The thing that we will never say is, we will never say, oh, Black Americans don't deserve reparations. We're not saying, we've never said that. We've said absolutely they do. But with saying that, we're also saying that that America owes it to every other Black person outside of America. That's what we're saying, because it's the facts. It's the truth. It's the truth. So I think they have this thing is, oh no, you want to come first. You want to get it first. Babe, listen, they're not going to give it. You know why they're not going to give it? Because they've given everybody else their reparations. They've given it to everyone else. They've given it to the Jews. They've given it to the Afghanis. They've given it to everybody else, but they haven't given
Native
it to
Americans.
us.
They even
Native Americans.
They gave it to white slave owners after they said slavery was illegal. Like, that's the craziest part. That one is the most jarring one, because it's like, okay, so you pay these people to subsidize our bodies, but you're not paying us for the labor?
Right. So they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because they know that they would have to pay every one of us. So
you know what the maddest thing is as well. Sorry to cut in. I'll big up the fire squad, man. Big up for the gifts.
Big up yourself.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to the fire squad live.
Yeah, we're there, man. We're there. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I believe, like, we don't even need them, and they know it. Because as you know, we were here before them. We don't need them. We just need to be left alone. We can have our own apps. We can't have our own applications. We can't have our own servers. We can't have our own satellite dish. We can't have nothing. We have to ask them for control, even in the Apple store. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to do other things to try and get your app. What happened to the guy that owned Cash App? What happened to Bitcoin? All they do is infiltrate everything, then try and control it. Same thing.
Felt like a war between that But if we talking about the reparations, that's supposed to go to Africa first, and then it can be distributed from there. Because once Africa is liberated, we all liberated around the world. You feel me? So it don't need to be an ego. Well, I got this, you feel me? Or we got this happen to us. Africa need to be the one to get it. Because we all gonna
Yeah,
benefit
100.
off of that.
And then hypothetically, if they did give it to us, you know what we do? We go back to Africa. We leave this place because what are we gonna do putting the money that we work for?
The big drop. Please mute.
But yeah, so like if we get money, like what are we gonna do putting it back into an economy that hates us? We leave. They give us the money, then we go back to Africa, we build our own communities. And we go back to how life is supposed to be with loving communities taking care of each other and not hyper individualism capitalists. Don't make sense. The way we're living now makes no sense. It's like not natural.
Hey, Slim Lee. Hey, honey. What's up?
Yeah, so I had a couple. I've been here for a minute listening, and I had a comment on the whole African American thing. I don't know if anybody's experiences negative experience with African Americans, but I this is something that we talk about every day. And it happens on both ends, and it needs to be a way for us to get past it because it's only dividing us more. Every morning I wake up, I think of how I could be a better person for my community. I don't think about, oh, these people don't like me, or I don't like these certain type of individuals because this one showed me a bad face this day, or, you know, because at the end of the day, I get bad faces from Jamaicans, Haitians, African Americans, like everybody. So I just feel like we'll never be able to move past anything until we stop just talking about stuff that does not matter. I mean, at the end of the day, whoever just said it, I don't know who just said it, but we don't have nothing. We don't have satellites. We can't even build our own guns or machinery at the end of the day. We have bigger problems. We're always on here just talking how African Americans, or it happens everywhere. And another thing about that is my husband is Jamaican, and I'm always around the Jamaican community. And it's like a lot of them come and they don't give me a chance because they say, oh, I experienced how African Americans are, or, you know, but not everybody is the same. And I wish, you know, people can just be off of the individual versus the experience. Or that I bump into
Some
so
connection to
just saying,
issues, Slim Lee. Slim Lee, we're getting some connection issues. I'm not sure if you can get to a better spot for reception. Hello? Is it me? Can you guys hear me?
No, we
Yeah.
I think it's her
Okay.
reception is really bad.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
You got one
All right,
bar
so
on
basically,
your bar reception.
all right, if you can't hear me now, then I'll just come back later. This is an interesting conversation. That's why I'm here. You hear me or no?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right, I'll come back later, you guys.
Stay right in that spot.
Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, like a lot of the Jamaicans that I live around, when they're telling me about like how they experience African Americans, they tell me like I experienced this, or they treat me this way, or, you know, but for me, it's like, I just feel like I'm kind of shunned to the corner because it's like, I'm not going to treat you like that. So it's like when I hear stuff like this, it happens to me too from other communities. I just feel like we need to be able to move past this in some way because there's always going to be bad apples everywhere. Just like who snitched on Marcus Garvey. Just like you have slaves over here in America. There was always this one that was tell the master. So like at the end of the day, we always had those problems and we have to be able to move past those problems.
Slim Lee, are you American?
Yes.
Okay, and you said that you've had Jamaicans tell you that they've had a bad experience with Americans, yeah?
Yes, and I've had bad experiences with everyone else as well.
Right, but I'm saying when you have met a Jamaican person or any other person that's not from America, and they express to you like, I've had a bad experience, what do you do? Like, what's your individual response to that?
I just continue to be myself, and if they like who I am, they're going to continue to want to deal with me. But I'm not, that's it. I'm myself. I don't add to their pain.
Oh my gosh.
I just try to be as positive as I can with those people.
The big drop, you're gonna get dropped again. Mute your mic.
Why does he keep on doing that?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is like when they tell me those stories, it kind of brings me down, but at the same time my husband told me, he was like, well, that's what they experience and you can't control what they experience. But it's like before I even can be myself with them, they already told me they experience. It's kind of like shuts me out for, I don't know if you guys kind of get it, but what I'm trying to tell you guys,
yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. And yeah, we are aware that it's vice versa. We're not saying that it isn't, and that's what Kron was saying before. Like, we know this is a vice versa thing, but like the same experience you're having when they just shut you out without you being given a chance, that's the same thing that they do when they come over here. Like you saw, I don't know if you did see actually, when the FBA people were in the live, they were just going at people without having us, talk. And then we're then cutting them off because we're like, well, you're not going to get to talk if you're not. It just becomes a back to forth thing. And it's counterproductive. So that's why I've said, like, to have these conversations with these type of Americans makes no sense. We need to speak to ones like yourself that said, yes, I've had this experience and this is what I did. And like, if they could speak like how you're speaking, like breaking it down, like, I know that it's not a one-way thing. I acknowledge it's both ways, but when I encounter this is what I do. You're not meeting them back on that same negative energy, like, yeah, I don't like you either, da, 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 da. You're like, okay, I understand that, but I'm going to be me. So if you either take it or you're leaving it. And that's how we're supposed to be with everyone. But I personally cannot, I don't give I can't stomach them. As soon as I hear that FBA bullshit, I'm like, I'm done. I checked out.
But where did that come from? Like, I'm just hearing about this on TikTok.
Yeah, I can't lie. I've only just heard it today. I've only just heard about it
for a
today.
long time. It's just it's just different versions. Like Hoteps are one of them. Like FBA, it's just like Black Israelites. Like there are a ton of people. But
I knew about the NOI and all that.
You don't usually run into them in real life, but since it's like these online forums and they love talking, you're interacting with them more. Like that's really they exist. You don't usually meet them because they run in specific circles. Yeah,
and I only came in at the end of what I forgot his name already because that was low vibrational, but I came in at the end, so I don't know really what's going on. All I heard was FBA. So I was like, what's
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like talking about like bashing other people's like beliefs and stuff, even though I think they're dumb. I'm gonna just keep that to myself. But I guess like the core of it makes sense. But when they go into like this weird, I don't know. It's strange. But when you're talking about, because I'm from Somalia, right? I'm East African. East Africans are notoriously anti-Black. Unfortunately, I was raised. We met a few. I was raised anti-Black, and I know I had to deconstruct that shit myself because I knew low key I was like that's because I moved to the United States when I was like a youngin'. My parents lived in Africa their whole lives, and they would always reiterate that I was not Black, I was Somali, and I was like that makes no sense because I was like Somali is the ethnicity. So I always kind of thought, and the ones I started reading, it's all about the pursuit of knowledge essentially, because those people that the Jamaicans or whoever like you talk to, those people usually just don't know what's going on, because if you're raised a certain way and you don't want to like find anything to like refute what you believe and you're okay with those beliefs, you're going to be stuck forever. So like I personally had to literally deconstruct it and then had to explain to my whole family like, yeah, no, like you're Black. As much as you don't think you're Black, you are Black. right? It took a minute, but now my parents aren't anti-black anymore. So, I mean, it really is up to people like us, like to make
So if you wanted to marry a black man, they wouldn't be like, get this man out of this Jody out of my.
No,
They
my
wouldn't do that?
sister. Okay, see, that's a little crazy because my sister
That's madness.
did marry an African American, and my mom cried for like 3 days, but then she got over it. She got over it, you know, because like my sister was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" You know, so. I don't know, but you have to understand that like the perception that a lot of like Africans who are anti-black have about black people is still white supremacy like propaganda that's being dropped
100%.
into it's
No,
propaganda.
but Africans don't have anti-blackness to black people.
Some do, unfortunately. African
Okay.
Americans.
Have you met some of them Nigerians?
No,
Yeah.
no, some of them
I
do,
think
man. I
they're
can
more
confirm.
colorist. No, I think they're more like
No, blood,
they're more
they
like I
don't-
wanna they like
No.
light skin thing. Like I don't know.
But it's more so being associated with the idea of being African American, black. Does that make sense? Because if you say like if they're like, oh, I'm African American, or they'll just say like it's just the idea that African American blackness is different than blackness in Africa. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, I think a lot of this is rooted in just the distrust that we have, that we've been programmed to have for one another.
It's propaganda. It's propaganda
You know what
that
I mean?
causes infighting.
Yeah,
It's the
like
same-
it's
it's the same.
deliberate.
It is. It is deliberate.
It's the same when someone says the Middle East as well. It's that type of dumb thinking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because infighting like that didn't exist until colonization happened. You know what I mean? Like infighting kind of exists,
religion.
always will be, and religion specific. Yeah, those two. When those two happen, it was just there to divide and conquer,
Oh,
and it's
that
still
religion
dividing and
shit, boy.
conquering.
I'm not with that religion shit.
I genuinely believe
A whole
religion
other
is.
conversation.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I'll mention it. Yeah,
No, don't even bring it up. Think is gonna on mic in a minute. Think is gonna.
I know, right?
All right. I would.
Shout out to everybody coming through the live. Let's get to the 15K mark, y'all. Can we tap up the screen? There's like 50 of us in here. If we all tap up the screen for a solid minute, we could get to that 15K, like no problem. Welcome everybody to the live. Make sure you're following the host. There is a live goal at the top of Twins Maker right there. See them fire flames? Go ahead and hit that up as well. Thank you guys for sharing the live. We've got 70 shares. If y'all could continue to share the live, that would be dope. I appreciate you. So the big drop. You've been heavily trying to come off the mic. Go ahead and respond to anything you've heard on the panel, or you can answer the questions that the host got up.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to put everything in perspective as fast as I could. Number one, here's what's going on right now. Number one, everybody doesn't know the prominent place that, first of all, I'm not African American, I'm Haitian. The prominent place for African Americans, when you turn around and you ask the African American, where do you come from? He can't tell you where he comes from, right? The reason why he can't tell you where he comes from is because if you actually know history, in 70 AD, he was in Jerusalem. He was actually in Israel, and he ran to Africa to blend in with these other people. So the reason why it's such a big stigma, everybody has a big thing against African Americans. But guess what? When an African American does something, everybody else do it. If he turns around, he put his hat backwards, if he sags his pants, you'll see it all throughout the world because he is the man. He is one of the favorite sons of Jacob. So if anybody knows about the Bible, and I'm just going to try to be as quick as I could. If anybody knows about biblical history, Jacob had 12 sons. One of his prominent sons was Judah. Judah is these African Americans that you see over here walking around with their pants hanging down, doing all of that. He is actually the prominent man on the earth. Just because he looks like he's the lowest man on the earth, that's why he looks like he's the lowest man on earth. He's dealing with his punishment right now. But guess what? That war that everybody's having right now, when it says Israel against this, Israel against that, guess what? The person that belongs in that land as much as you don't want to, people don't understand, African Americans actually belong in Jerusalem. That's where they asked me to be. Not in America, not in Jamaica, not in Haiti. They asked belong in Jerusalem.
So
And that's
when are you
what,
going to Jerusalem?
let me just get my shit. Let me just finish real quick. I'm gonna land real quick.
The topic. What part of the topic we're talking about?
Lifestyle, you're born up the blood clot lifestyle. We are chatting about my clot. You're born up life.
Let me just finish. So when y'all looking at these African Americans and y'all looking at them with their pants sagging down and all of that, y'all don't even know that that's actually y'all future rulers. And number one, YOLO, hold on, real quick. I'm gonna be quick. Hold on, I'm gonna be quick. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna land it. That thing that hold on. That thing that Drake said when he said, "YOLO, everybody lives once." Y'all don't live once. Y'all come back like water. Everybody's gonna
say YOLO. Can you just wrap this up? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you're going to think it's ridiculous. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the reason why everybody's so confused and why people don't understand what's going on. Once you put the African American back in Israel, everything is going to be fine. There's not going to be no animals and no damn jail cells because that's what y'all have them at right now. Y'all got lions in the fucking zoo. Y'all got they'll be walking around straight. Everybody's gonna be happy. As soon as Judah, because I hope when y'all talking some shit, I hope y'all know about the Bible. Yeah, as soon as Judah is back where he is.
Oh, brother, can you end it? Drop. Can you just finish?
When you said that, man.
Guess what? A couple of people understood what I said. So y'all don't need to understand what I said, but a couple of people understood what I said. That's exactly why there's no peace in Israel. Because in the Bible, it tells you when the real people are there, there's not going to be no war.
They would not let you into Israel. They don't even see you guys as people, brother. So what are you talking about? Go try and go to Israel tomorrow. You're a Jew, right? You're Israelite.
We don't have to go there because they're going to get bombed.
Go.
You're not going to be allowed. What the hell?
It's not for us to go there right now.
48. And you know, the thing
1948, yes, somebody said something good. Yeah, Balfour Declaration. Yeah, you're actually smart. Whoever said that.
Listen, I did think. Them folks knew that there would never be any peace there. They knew exactly what they were doing. So, but listen, I understand that Bible for what it is. You understand what I'm saying? I understand what it is.
Do you believe that?
No.
Do you believe that it has history in it?
Oh, and it has information, right? And but I have to put it to you like this, because I don't trust anything that after they so-called quote unquote got their hands on it. If that makes sense, does that make sense to you? Because how can I? Let me see. I'm trying to be respectful before I get.
No. You're good. But the thing is that what you don't understand is that the person who actually.
Sorry, Big Top. You gotta let the lady speak. If you can let things speak, let her finish her thought, and then you could respond.
No, it's not. I'm not you. It's just that I know there's other people that have a faith, and I'm not trying to offend them, and I don't need them coming from my page. But the thing of it is that I'm just one kind of person. You have to step back and start asking a whole lot of questions. These questions be like, basically, first of all, how it came together, right? And we should all know that. And there's a great depart from being on scrolls than it is being in a book. And then it's not even all the books that's within that so-called canon. We could keep taking it and carrying it forward on and on and on and on and on forever. And then you have to think about these teachings that these churches and synagogues and mosques and all this other kind of stuff, how they have deviated from what it really was. And that's another problem that I have. A lot of people They think that it was there for everybody, and that's not the case. He was only there for a specific set of people, right? And I'm just going to leave it right there. But if you have people that actually read the book for the information, then they would know. That's why I said I don't get into all that, because only thing that it has done so far is cause wars, which it's still continuing to do right here, right now, and division, which is still doing right here, right now, and suppression and oppression, which is very much doing right here, right now. And if you go back, this is one more thing, and I'm going to land my plane. And if you go back and you actually read it, and this is in the Old Testament, it says the people had it written upon their hearts. They didn't need a damn book. And I'm going to land my plane.
I would also like to, as somebody who read the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible, because, you know, I was studying theology for a bit, it says that no matter what, if you consider yourself, you know, an Israelite, whatever, that's your prerogative, you can't go back until the Messiah comes. So the world's going to end either ways. So let's think about right now, sir, because you know it. So, like, let's forget about that. Y'all can go. When the world's ending, go ahead. No one's going to stop your ass. So let's think about what the topic's at hand and stop talking this mumbo jumbo, because we're talking about real life here, not whenever the Messiah shows up, because he's not here yet. He's not there today. So chill. Like, let's talk about, let's talk about our immigrants a problem or a benefit. Let's talk about our immigrants a problem or benefit.
Can I go short?
Questions?
All right, let me answer the question. What I would like for everybody that's on the panel that can hear the tone of my voice, go to Revelations.
Ain't nobody gonna do that. This is not a mission trip.
What? Wait.
This is not a mission trip.
Don't try to just blank me out.
We all hear it over and over.
Don't try to blank me out. Hold on.
Sir. Stop trying to make this a mission trip.
Sir.
Yes. Who's talking? Is that the host?
You cannot be serious, sir.
That ass, right?
Wait, is that the host or somebody else?
I'm a co-host.
only gonna listen to that.
Listen. Fire G, Minium. Fire G. Yo.
No, it has to be the host that's talking to me.
Sir. No, but it is somebody that.
Oh, that's not the host. That's somebody else.
No.
Anyway, no. Wait, hold on. Let me finish, and then you can go. You can go, shorty. But what?
Because you definitely thought, boo. You thought, boo. Very okay, baby. Ayo, let me say this. Ayo, think. Dessalines and Tucson heard this shit and was like, bitch, I know you fucking lying, bitch.
He said, YOLO, Drake's in the house. Listen.
And then told all of us to go and look up the book of Revelation.
Oh, how about we never?
I can't lie. From when you mentioned
them your countrymen, them your folks, Empress thing, them your folks now.
when you mentioned the book religion,
can I make a comment when y'all get a chance to?
You better come and get your boy, because your boy out here tripping, girl.
How are they not embarrassed?
I was listening to what you were saying, though.
He's Haitian. He sounds ridiculous.
Child, you ain't heard him when he came in the room, chest big and buff.
No.
Hell no, I had walked on mama and said something like, bro, what?
He made you got this right.
He had to make sure he made the distinction. I'm Haitian, not African. He made the distinction. I'm Haitian, not African American. And then he kept saying like those black people with their pants sagging, walking around. Are you crazy?
Are you dumb? Like, why are you even talking this way?
Hold on for a second.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. When you said that, I was busting up.
No, I did. I missed that part because I was walking back and forth from my phone. But if I did, I would have asked him, where are your people from? Give me your family name, something like that. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask him, does he think like, you know what I'm saying, what does he think about where we come from? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to ask.
He said,
that's
what he said. He said verbatim, he said, you know that black people originated in Jerusalem and then we had to leave to go to Africa to blend in.
Oh yeah, that's when I phased out.
That's trash.
Yeah.
That's trash. It didn't even pray to Jerusalem first.
That don't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense.
They pray
And
to
He
also,
said,
like,
he said the black Americans that are walking around with their pants sagging down, they are our rulers, bro. Are
they
you
are future
fucking?
rulers. And the crazy part is like, it's so interesting to me because they don't even understand like what the fucking Torah says, because the Torah literally says, sure, there's like, Abraham had a bunch of kids or whatever. Regardless, if we're talking about going back to what is it, the Savannah or some shit, where Abraham was born, that's Iraq. He was born in Mesopotamia. That's Iraq, baby.
That's the
That's not
thing. A lot of
Jerusalem.
them don't know. They don't know that at that time it was that the tribe of what is that, Judah or Benjamin. That was their normal Roman area out that way, which we call modern day Iraq and a bit of Iran. This is why I say I don't like getting into that mess, because a lot of them are just spitting up rhetoric, and I just leave them where it's at. That's why I said, "What is he talking about?"
Yeah. Also, debating religion is
Like,
so
do
boring.
they even know where religion even comes from? Like, they've literally copied text by text out of both tablets.
I'm almost
Literally.
positive they create a religion to reinforce race. That's what I think.
And they
I could read
created
passages out of
religion.
this book and you would see exactly where it derives from.
The
Oh, can I
thing
make a
about
comment real quick?
it's
What happened? I
what?
turned the comment because I don't know why the screen is not being tapped. There's 50 people in here. We should have been at 15K a while ago. Y'all want these comment back? Get the likes up. Tap up the screen, y'all. That's what we're here for. Teach the algorithm, please, and thank you.
If I could jump down over things head on your head right now. He turned off the damn comments.
My
A
bad.
diamond axe.
I'll turn them on. I swear I'll turn them back on at
Yes.
15K, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, can I make a comment now?
Sure.
The show, Diamond Axe, thank you so much for coming up. I'm sorry you've been waiting very, very patiently. And thank you guys for starting to tap up the screen. 15K real quick.
One thing I wanted to say about religion in general, I think religion has been an extremely toxic thing for Black people, and I believe that no matter if it's the African faith systems, I believe that Black people are overly spiritual and rely too much on it to help them when we need to actually be doing things in the physical world to get things done. And I'll answer the questions. I do believe that there is an African American culture that started after slavery, and it's changed, over time. Now, some of the culture has went for the worse because now, the Black race, unfortunately, in America, has been successfully niggerized, and we're going to fight our way up. We're going to fight our way up out of that.
What did you just say?
Huh?
What did you just say?
I said the African Americans have been successfully niggerized. Not all of us,
You can't
but
say
What
the
does
that.
that
African
mean?
Americans
What does
have been
that mean?
niggerized.
Yo, that is
What
a
does that mean?
madness, bro.
Wait,
That is
what does that mean?
mean?
Okay,
Yeah, what
let
does
me
that
explain to
mean?
you let me explain. The reason why I'm saying that is because
No, listen, you're gonna get the live shut down. Don't say shit like that.
okay.
Like, first of all,
Well,
explain it, but don't use that word again. Are you crazy?
well, my bad. I didn't know that I'm sorry. I'm just saying that it's becoming, more and more popular to be ignorant, to be disrespectful, to be involved in crime than it is to, get a college degree and build a successful business. So I'm saying that's the problem that a lot of our people as African Americans are having. We have to be real about this.
No, let's
And I'll
be
answer the
real.
next question.
No,
One
Diamond,
second.
stop.
So, 1 second, 1 second. So, okay, you're a Black man, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you sound like you're an older Black man.
I'm 45 years old.
15K, I want the comments back quick, guys. I want to get to 15K.
As an older, like a grown-up Black man, as a grown-up, do you think that's an appropriate word? That's number one. And do you think that's an appropriate way to describe Black people that has been held down for years after years after years, that is actually born into this struggle? Do you think that's the right way? Because crime is not committed by Black people just because they want to commit crime. Crime is a broad spectrum, right? We're having mothers across the world, Black women across the world, that are having to go into Chinese owned store, white owned stores, Indian owned stores, and steal for food for their children because they are left alone by the father. Either he's ran off or he's in prison or he's passed away because of war, depending on where she is, and she's unable to provide for those children. So that's a crime to steal. But you're saying that it's Negroized, and because that's what they're doing, but you're not looking at why those things are happening. And I think you just demonize.
I'll explain what I mean. After you're done, I'll explain what I mean, Mel.
Systems. So why are you talking about the black community when black women are the more likely to go and graduate college than any other race?
Okay, I'll respond to that too. Are you guys finished? And I'll respond to everything. Okay. Okay. Now, it's interesting because it's a crazy thing. I'm not even going to get into the whole thing, but about the women being educated. I mean that is true, but other people still respect criminals more than they respect those that are educated, and women are more attracted to men that are criminals than the ones that are educated. So that's step number one. Now, hold on. Let me respond before you say something else. Let me answer all these questions and let me respond to Twins Maker. Now here's the thing. African Americans are the richest black people in the world. But the reason why we remain poor is because we refuse to shop black. Trust me, I know how ignorant and disrespectful African Americans can be pacifically. Okay? As a person who's lived in America my whole life, we're some of the most violent, some of the most cruelest people I've ever seen.
So what?
Hold on. Let me finish, please.
Real quick,
I'm sorry.
Real quick, guys. Mod talking. Real quick, brother. A couple of times I've heard you just kind of speak down on Black Americans, even though you're Black American yourself. We're all Black people here, and I understand we all have in our respective communities the things that are viewed as quote unquote negative or as things that we shouldn't be doing, like respectability politics. You know what I'm saying? I understand in our respective. Right. But what I'm saying is, brother, if you can just be a little kinder to yourself, to our brothers and sisters in the chat. Because
I'm going to soften up a little bit.
Yes, please. Because yes, we have to be hard on ourselves. But what we're trying to do is not, kind of further the division. We want to we're trying to just bring this.
Okay, I'll take it easy. But the reason why I'm so critical of African Americans is because I know compared to what other Africans have around the world, we are rich compared to those other people. And we're supposed to be the ones that lead the struggle. Because in the past, when we look at most of the leaders were either in America or they started in America. Or they were from America. So when you look at Booker T. Washington, you look at Marcus Garvey, he got big in America. Hold on.
There's not really.
Guys, in the comments, you have 400 more to go. Please, I want to see
I want the comments back too, please. But y'all gotta keep tapping. We can't keep the comments on if y'all are just gonna be sitting there watching us. Y'all have to keep tapping.
That's a
public announcement. A public announcement. Under no circumstances does any of the fire squad members or I guess the panel agrees with any of that bullshit that just was said, because it's not fair to. I don't get that's wild.
But when he said about African Americans, us we're the richest and us African Americans, you mean your people them? You mean the Negroid? You mean the melanated beings? You mean the gods?
Okay,
you mean the goddesses?
G comments.
Come on, man.
All the leaders come out of America. That's not true either. So you're down.
That's not what I said. Hold on. That's not what I said.
No,
let me finish.
You did say that.
I said a lot of the leaders came out of America.
But let's not talk about
educate, or they were in America. When you look at Kwame Nkrumah,
I would like to talk
you look at what's the other guy? So the person who liberated Nigeria.
Let's talk about
Sora, 1 second, sweetie. 1 second. 1 second, Sora. 1 second, Sora. 1 second. I don't want to be disrespectful to you, so I'm not going to do it. I think it's really important to. I understand that this might be your this is your view, and this is your opinion, but it is damaging because you're just lumping everybody. You're not saying there are some, because surely you don't believe that every American woman that is educated likes gangsters and people that harm other people. Surely that's not your belief. Like, there are
I never said that.
No, but you're not even saying that. You're not. You
did say
are
that.
saying that. You are saying that.
No,
Yeah,
I said that. I said they're more attracted to those type of men, and they are. It just is what it is. I mean, I'm not putting.
Do you mean like younger girls though? When you say that specifically, do you mean?
Well,
like
mostly younger girls, but
Why
you know,
I mean, like in certain environments.
Why we're by younger
environments? Like, is that what you mean?
And yeah, that's what I mean. And you know, if I offended anybody, I'm really sorry. But I mean, I do love my people, but I'm not going
Doesn't
to.
sound like it, to be honest.
Hold on. When you want your people to do good and do right,
then how about you bring up solutions instead of talking like
you know, talk about some solutions. You know, that's a good question. I'm glad you're putting me to the test. I will. So one of the first solutions I believe that can help Black people is focused on what do you call it? You're focusing on self-development. So focusing on becoming a better person and treating each other better, and taking the time to understand one another better.
Sir, you can't even do that. You can't even do that based on what you're saying. So start with yourself. I don't think you as a person should even be talking about this subject.
Hold on. You asked me a question. I get what you're saying. I understand you don't like. I understand you don't like what I'm saying. I understand you're frustrated. I get it.
I'm not frustrated.
Let me just share my viewpoints.
I'm embarrassed by you, to be honest.
No, I'm not
embarrassed.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed by you, sir. You're embarrassing and honestly disappointing. You're 45 years old, and that's even more embarrassing.
No, that's not. That's your opinion, ma'am.
I want to see his solution. I want to hear his solution.
There's a lot that we, as African Americans, there's so much better we could do as a people.
Yeah,
we really could. We got to stop lying to ourselves.
There's rhetoric you're
I want to hear the solution.
The rhetoric you're spouting is literally ridiculous.
So let me get the solution. No. So the first step. So let me finish. Now I know some people ain't. Let me finish.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So also with that,
I don't know if you're worse than FBA or you're the same, because this shit is what you're talking about American people.
I don't understand, but
okay, go ahead. Ask.
Okay, so
just say what you're gonna say, man. Just say.
Yeah, let's give Axe the floor. We're not gonna interrupt you, and then just one mic. Yeah.
So what I was saying is the first step is really focus on self-development. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or that I'm better than anybody else. I'm saying we all need to work on self-development, but treating each other better is step number one. Step number two is we're going to focus on creating a community code, a community code. So there's guidelines of do's and don'ts, stuff like you don't mess around with married people, you don't cheat on your spouse. If you want to be in an open relationship, you be honest. I'm just using that as an example. If you have a disagreement with someone, we can talk it out instead of harming one another. So also we need to build council of elders in these communities. So when people have problems, we're able to go to the elders so they can solve those problems. But we need elders that are honorable, that can be trusted. So that's
I disagree. I think if you're part of the elders, y'all sound dumb. So like, how about we don't do that?
No. First of all, now there's no.
Honestly, listen, sister, I am confident that Sorsuke could take you on and win, sir. So I would really appreciate it if you would just let me get this out, okay? Because otherwise, I'm gonna just let her have at you. All right? Okay. So I'm asking you kindly, sir. I'm asking you kindly, sir. I'm trying to spare you, sir. I'm trying to spare you.
But the thing about it is, first of all, I'm not saying I never claimed to be an elder. I'm not claiming to be nobody's elder. I'm sharing my viewpoint. There's nothing wrong.
I am telling you right now,
with me
sir,
saying what I
that you're
said.
not even giving me an opportunity to save you, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay.
What did it save me from? I don't understand.
Okay.
Oh, the shouting.
It's so crazy.
Can I get his ass now?
Oh, my head. Like, listen,
go off,
I'm not.
Go off.
I don't disagree. Hold up. I don't disagree that we need to have a community-based system. I don't disagree with that. But I would be very alarmed. I would be very concerned of who those people would be, because if they will be people on the wavelength that you're on, in the way you speak about American women, I'm not sure if you're speaking about women in general or just American women. You triggered everyone. I'm not an American woman, and
I don't understand. But
sorry.
People they would vote on who the people who would be the elders would be what the community voted on. The community would vote to pick who's going to be in that leadership position.
So are you trying to say we need to go back to tribalism? Is that what it is? Because it sounds like not the
Well, I think we need to take some elements of that. I'm not saying we need to go all the way back to I'm not saying tribalism in that way. I'm saying that we need to go back to some of the things that we did use when we were on the continent, because some of those things were effective. That's all I'm trying to say.
What book are you reading right now, sir? Diamond Axe, I'm going to ask you a question. What book are you reading right now?
Are you African American? Are you African American? Are you Latino?
I'm black.
You can see him on his page. You got pictures of him.
Okay.
I'm going to ask this again. Please, guys, give me an opportunity to ask some questions here. So, and Diamond Axe, what book are you currently reading?
Well, right now I'm reading a book talking about psychological warfare that was used against black people and others. But I read Booker T. Washington. I read Malcolm X. I read at least 30, 40 books about black history and about black culture. So I have read and studied quite a bit. I don't know everything.
What are the titles of those books?
Up from Slavery, Booker T. Washington, Autobiography of Malcolm X, Opinions and Philosophy of Marcus Garvey, Miseducation of the Negro. I read a book about the CIA, and I can't think of all the titles off the top of my head, but I have read different books.
I'm asking what book you're currently reading.
It's a book about psychological warfare.
Okay, so
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say, because it sounds like you skimmed them and then didn't retain any of the information.
That's not true.
Sir, the way you talk, if I went on your page and you were a white man, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm not a white man. I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so white man, I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so white man, I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so white man, I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so white man, I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so white man, I'm a black man. And see, the reason why I'm so my whole thing is the biggest.
Name two.
Cutting me off, please. Can I please speak?
I'm asking you a question. Name two of them.
Answer it, ma'am.
I don't want a long-winded answer, though. I want you to.
Okay, let me answer. Okay, let me answer.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, allow me to answer. Thank you.
Be concise.
Now, the biggest roadblocks I've seen to black success is the fact that other black people do not shop black.
That's not one.
And also, the biggest roadblock I've also seen is understanding how to properly run and operate a business.
Okay.
I get everybody get a job. That's all.
Two biggest ones is literally our access to proper bank loans and redlining. Those are the two ones. Those are the top two. So redlining is one of the biggest reasons that keep black people in poverty and perpetuate the poverty cycle, which again begates crime, right? It's the prison to it's the poverty. So what you're saying, right? You're telling people to pick yourselves up by the bootstraps. Everyone, all these other minorities do it. We've talked about this already.
I'm not talking about minorities.
About the model minority myth again. Yes, Asian
I'm
people.
not. First of all, I never said that. That's not what I said.
You did say earlier that we.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Relax. You didn't say any racist.
No, you're putting words in my mouth,
you didn't say any racist, but you're saying that. Well, someone did say that.
Racism does exist. I never denied that.
No, that's not what
Racism is real. And I never denied that.
This is why when you read books, you can't process any information because you aren't listening to listen. You are just talking. So stop. Okay? When we look at businesses and you see other minorities, specifically Asian people, Latinos, even South Indian people, again, you have to understand that those people came here on visas, right? The visas that they got usually indicate that they have money or they have of already established college degree. So they're already ahead of a kid who just graduated college and is in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt and can't even get a loan. Okay. You need bank loans. What the real issue is, right? The real issue is that there's no money within the communities. Fuck a business. There aren't even food banks. There's no community gardens, right? They put all their money into churches and they put all their money into consumer goods. Even if there were businesses there, that's not helping. Sure, it might help the overall economy. Right?
So let me respond to what she just said.
Not helping
what
the
Source saying.
Let me respond to what she just said.
When we do have businesses, we are paying double, maybe triple, maybe quadruple the prices for our goods as our counterparts because of them set on not having us in business. It happens here in the UK. It happens here in the UK a lot, where actual East Asian people that own businesses in the UK, they plan and
that's not true.
Black-owned businesses. How do you know that's not true?
That's facts, man. That's facts.
Myself and Maximum, we live in the UK, and there are other people in the chat.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about what someone said in the comments. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that happens here in the UK, where they literally plot on Black-owned businesses. They rally up to stomp the growth of the business. They make false claim to the boards of environmental health. They make false claims to fraud, to the tax people. They do that, and they get the businesses shut down. It's like TikTok. The more you complain, the more you get bullshit on top of you. That's what they do over here in the UK. That's what they do in Uganda, in Kenya, in South Africa. These are the things that they do in Jamaica, Chinese, and all these things are happening. And for America, it's the Palestinians, the Jews, it's all them other people. So for you to come up here and then refer to Black people the barrel, that's bullshit.
Okay, let me respond to what you just said, Mel. Let me respond to both comments. Now, number one, African Americans make $1 trillion a year. So if we want to get access to capital, we need to put all our money into black banks.
That's
but
where
black
you're
people
wrong,
do not.
sir. That's where you're
even have a black bank.
Hold on. There are black banks in America. There are black banks in this country.
Tell me one, because I want to hear that. I want to hear that. Tell me.
United One.
There's a list of black banks, and on the top. Now there's
I just gave one. If you would stop over talking me, because he said he wanted to know one. I just gave him one.
Black banks. So if we were serious about anything, we would put our money all into black banks.
Were you listening to anything I said, Diamond? I was trying to reiterate the point that you are trying to win capitalism. Capitalism is white supremacy. Capitalism is not built for.
Can I just say, y'all? Can I just get a little bit of order in the live, please? A little bit of order in the live. Decorum, y'all, please.
I'll be quiet.
No, you don't have to be quiet, but I don't think the over talking is productive. It is hard for people who are neurodivergent to follow in certain circumstances. So everybody gotta talk one at a time. Like I'm really trying to follow the conversation. Oh boy is given, really dominant energy and it's really annoying. Besides that though, it's just a matter of
everybody talking one at a time.
Y'all think
Please,
I'm
bro.
dominant? I'm not dominant. I'm a nice
No. I
person.
never said you were
Not at
dominant.
all.
Stop that. Cut it
You're
out. I
not
said you were giving
dominant.
dominant energy. I never said you were dominant. Cut that shit. Don't flatter yourself, bro.
But my
Chill.
point.
So I wanted to say, yeah. So you got banks in America that are black owned because there's none over here.